I want to go back to the 2024 campaign trail right now, because just last hour, the Republican presidential candidate, Tim Scott, wrapped up a speech in the Chicago area. The senator from South Carolina, speaking to a crowd at the New Beginnings Church, talked about some of the obstacles that he faces in his run for president, which is kind of the story right now. I want to bring in from that church, NewsNation's Alex Caprariello. And, you know, while I was talking to Blake Bourbon a few minutes ago, I was literally on one of the monitors in our New York studio watching Alex interview Tim Scott. And I know you wrapped up that interview just a few minutes ago. And the reason I say it's the story is because we were talking last hour. There were real questions about the senator's campaign and whether he's still a viable candidate on the Republican side of that 2024 race. What did he tell you?
Yeah, when you look at that average polling that's come out lately, Senator Tim Scott is far behind those Republican competitors that he has, polling less than 2%, obviously a far cry from the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump. And so I think that's really why he decided to come here to Southside Chicago. This is an area that has not been visited yet by presidential candidates. We know that because the church here invited them all. It was an open invite saying, hey, come here, see what we're all about, see what the South Side is really like. And then speak to our people. And that's exactly what he did. He focused on not just Chicago, but all big cities. As we know, historically, these big cities, these urban areas, typically vote blue, vote Democrat. And so he was really trying to instill both his background, his history as a South Carolina politician fighting through segregation, his family segregation, but then bringing those values, how he overcame those obstacles and what that could mean for a city like Chicago that has had historically high crime rates, high unemployment, poor schooling for the children. And so really it was about instilling those Republican values that he believes in and bringing them to a city like Chicago, a city like New York, and so on and so forth. So during that one-on-one interview, I asked him a little bit about that speech. Here's what he had to say.
Why not bring an alternative that is focusing on solving the problems that have been persistent for 6 decades?
You know, you mentioned not just Chicago, but and again, he's pointing out the fact that Chicago has been a democratically led city. He said that there hasn't been a Republican mayor in Chicago since the 1920s. So he's saying if all of these things are still happening to the city where we have high crime rates and high unemployment, why not make that change? Why not flip it red? Why can't we do that in Chicago like we're doing it in other cities all across America?
Right. So it sounds like he's going to, you know, at least for now, stay in this race, even with the polling that you talked about, and keep fighting to you know, be the nominee. That all starts in Iowa, the Iowa caucuses, of course, and that's his next stop, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is just one pit stop on the way to Iowa. He's going to be going there for the next few days. And I asked him about his recent polling numbers, and he said he's got his eyes set on other cities that he hopes to turn opinions about. In specific, he mentioned Miami. He wants to go down there, too. Obviously, there's a huge constituency down there that could use a change of pace, in his own words. And so I think really he's got his eyes set on this presidential race. He says he has no concern. He believes he's going to be there on that debate stage in November. Of course, he's got to qualify for it first.
Right, and that's the challenge for someone like him. I think that's one of the reasons, besides the polling, they brought up whether or not he's staying in or whether he's committed to it. And a lot's been written. There were a lot of articles, there have been a number of op-eds actually lately suggesting he should drop out. You know, he should get out. He maybe endorse Nikki Haley. They're from the same state. So that kind of brings up that interesting point about what will he do and what do Republicans want him to do?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of opinion articles about that recently from conservative pundits that say, hey, the best thing Senator Scott can do is drop out, throw his support behind Nikki Haley. And what's the reasoning behind that, right? Well, the thought process is that the more Republican candidates that are out there, the longer that they stay in that race as we head towards the primaries, the more muddy the water becomes. And you don't get that differentiation. You don't get that one competitor who can actually stand a chance against the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump. And so that's the thought process. If Senator Scott drops out, gives it to someone who perhaps has that opportunity, then maybe the Republican primary could turn in favor of another candidate other than former President Donald Trump.
Right. Yeah, trying to set up that one-on-one matchup, as people have been talking about. Well, that's why we get out the trail and try to catch up with these candidates. So you can push about these issues one-on-one, which you did today. So good stuff, Alex. Alex Caprariello, live from Chicago.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.